Starting off with Almighty name of Almighty God. Hey everyone, what's up? Hope you are doing well and feeling on cloud 9 as usual. Thank you so much for coming back and watching my content. I'm Zainullah Rahimi, back with another brand new content where I am going to be covering another really engaging topic. But before I jump right into today's topic and introduce it, I'd like to take the time to bring up something really quickly. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel, because every content that we are producing and posting online, they are going to help you a lot in leveling up your English. And if you do enjoy watching these types of content, so please assist us by giving us a thumbs up. So without further ado, let's move on and get started with today's topic. Today I am going to be talking about importance of getting enough or lots of inputs, or in other words, today I am going to highlight some of the benefits that getting lots of listening practices can have in our journey of learning a new language. So let's get the ball rolling with basics. First of all, let's understand what inputs and outputs are. In fact, inputs include two skills, of course, listening and reading. When you take the information in, that's called inputs. On the contrary, we have outputs. Outputs contain two other main skills that are speaking and writing. When you put all the things that you have learned so far into use and also into practice, that's called outputs, either by writing it down or by speaking it. So this is, I think, one of the concepts that is underestimated a lot by language schools, language centers, teachers, and most importantly by students. So today I am going to take the time to highlight some of the benefits that getting lots of inputs can have in our journey of learning a new language. So before I actually delve deep into today's topic, I'd like to share a quick story of myself. I think that it's been around 2 years that I have been learning English on my own, seriously and deliberately. And in 2 years of studying English, I have bumped into lots of people. And whenever I run into someone, I usually ask them about their journey of learning a new language, in particular English. So one of the most common complaints that I have been hearing so far is that they all complained about one thing, about their listening skills. They were, telling me that, oh my God, my listening skill is terrible. I even cannot understand a simple audio that is played in my target language. All the things, all the stuffs that are mentioned in that audio, they just, go over my head. And this is something that I have heard a lot, especially while I was, talking to people who were studying English. So if you stick around until the end, I'm 100% sure that you are going to get lots of great insights on today's topic. When you do that, you can actually shift your mentality towards learning English. Consequently, you will also transform not only your life, but also your journey of learning a new language, especially English language. So let's get started with some of the benefits that I have listed here. Number one is immersion. Immerse. To immerse yourself in a language, immerse is the noun, the verb form of immersion. So when you immerse yourself in the language, you actually surround yourself by that language. So this is the first benefit that getting lots of inputs can have. Have you ever noticed that there are two types of people? The first type of people are those people who actually enroll themselves in a language school or in a language center, and they show up to every class, and after a long period of time, they finally reach a point where they can speak English confidently, where they can, put words together in order to get their ideas across. The second type of people are those people who actually go and live in a country where that language is actually spoken, and after, we can say, a short period of time, they can actually feel comfortable using that language. So if we compare these two types of people, of course we are going to notice lots of great differences. One of the differences that we are going to notice is the improvement. So this Second type of people are those people who are actually successful in improving much more faster compared to the first type of people. It's only and only because of immersion. This is what exactly I mean. If you would like to improve your English, you need to immerse yourself in the language. So you do not need to actually go to the USA, the UK, Australia, South Africa, or other English speaking countries in order to immerse yourself in the language. You can actually get that immersion experience just living in your own native country and also in your own native tongue. It's only possible by just getting lots of inputs, or in other words, just by listening to lots of great materials in your target language. When you do that, of course, you are going to get to discover the culture, set of vocabularies, grammar structures, and you are even going to get familiar with the language itself, which are, I think that you are killing many birds with one stone. And fortunately, there are, we can say, endless opportunities that today we can use in order to immerse ourselves in the language that we are studying. Look, we've got YouTube, Facebook, Insta, we have TikTok, we have WhatsApp, and we can use all these great platforms in order to experience, immersion, in order to immerse ourselves in the language. So I think that we are living in the best age. So in order to, get benefits from all those great platforms, we gotta just immerse ourselves in the language, and that's gonna bring us lots of great actual improvements. And in addition to that, it can also help us to reach the breakthrough in the journey of learning a new language. So this was all about the first benefit. Moving on to the second one is fluency. As everybody knows, fluency is a really big and deep topic, and lots of language learners are actually seemed to be obsessed with this topic. And we can say that listening is a big part of fluency, and I'm a big proponent of listening when it boils down to becoming fluent in a language. So you have to listen a lot. You gotta listen a lot if your goal is to reach fluency. You have to assume, let's assume that how did you learn English as a baby? Of course, you just sat down and you listened to the people who were around you. You listened to your parents, to your siblings, to people who were around you, and after a period of time, you started to actually say a couple words, and eventually you became fluent in your native tongue. And this is exactly what I mean. In order to become a fluent speaker of English, you have to just get lots of listening inputs, because that's gonna make the whole difference at the end of the day. One of the faults or one of the flaws of the language schools or language centers is that they all underestimate this concept, even though this is something that is really crucial when it boils down to becoming a fluent speaker. That's why many students who actually go to language schools, they tend to struggle a lot when it comes down to speaking the actual language, or when it comes down to speaking English fluently. But on the other hand, there is also a group of people who are called independent learners, and they are actually really comfortable when it comes down to using English. It's mainly because they studied English on their own, and in addition to that, they also get lots of listening inputs. So that's what made them fluent in that language. So they also digest everything. I mean, independent learners, they always digest everything that they come across, whether that's content on YouTube, whether that's a podcast, a book, a song, a movie. They are going to consume all those great materials, and consequently they will become fluent in that language very soon. And I promise you that if you go through this process step by step, then I can ensure you fluency. Then you will eventually reach fluency. And there are also another group of people who are unfortunately not familiar with the concept that I am actually talking right now about it. So right now that you already know, it is important for you to actually recommend this content to those people, and I'm sure that if they just keep watching these types of content, eventually they are going to transform not only their life but also their attitudes towards learning English. So let's move on with the last benefit that I have listed here for you, is that through listening you tend to learn everything intuitively. Intuitively means naturally. So when you are actually getting lots of listening practices, in fact you are going to learn all those great stuffs intuitively, such as vocabulary, grammar structure, slang terms, even pronunciation tips. You are going to learn them and acquire them naturally, without force or without putting lots of stress on yourself, or without putting lots of pressure on yourself. And in fact we can say that you are killing three or more than three birds with one stone. You are getting all those stuffs done while you are improving your English. So when you are actually listening to something, in fact it could be the base of grammar. Look, if you've been listening to English materials for a while, then you already know some great grammar structures. But if you would like to study English, study grammar more deliberately, then it's going to be really interesting, because lots of students are actually obsessed with the idea of studying grammar rules at the beginning of their journey, and they are facing to lots of problems. Eventually they just disappoint themselves, which leads them to giving up. But I do not want that to happen to you. First of all, try to listen a lot. When you build that base of grammar rules, then you can actually study grammar deliberately, because at that point it's extremely interesting to you, because you've already built that base for grammars, and also you can actually build on top of that, and the grammars are making sense to you, and because of that it is really going to be engaging for you, and you will be able to actually succeed as a language learner. And there are many other, we can say, benefits that I didn't get through them because there are a lot, as I said at the beginning. So that actually brings me to the end of my video. So thank you so much for watching this video. It was a great pleasure to be back, to be talking to you amazing language learners, and I really enjoyed talking to you guys. So if you've got any feedback, any constructive criticism, please feel free to share that with me down in the comments below. I am looking forward to actually receiving them from you guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself, have fun learning English, and always smile. Peace.